Hello. So, you have arrived at the point at which you want to learn a foreign language. Perhaps you get inspired by some video, some random YouTube polyglot nailing it with 10, 15 languages. You thought, wow, I want to do that too. Perhaps you even went as far as looking for a language school or private teacher in your area. And you just got overwhelmed by all the offer you have. For example, in my hometown, there's a language school at every corner, and every other person I meet is an English teacher. Yeah, I live in Russia, people study English here. Well, perhaps you also want to figure out the most effective, efficient way to learn the languages. And again, the internet's got all the answers for you. The amount of information is overwhelming. Well, let me spare you some time on that. It's much more simple, than you think. And I subdivided it into 4 simple principles. Number 1 of which, studying a language, learning a language, is a lot of hard work. Yeah, there's no way around it. Yes, it can be efficient, but it's going to take a lot of your time and a lot of your energy. There's no way around it. And most people get demotivated very instantly when they realize it's just not worth it. The truth number 2, you need to be interested in language itself, lest you will lose motivation before you know it. Let's say the reasons you're learning a language are more trivial. You want to move to a different country. You want to be cool and educated. You want to find an international couple. Or you just want to be able to show off in front of different people. I'm afraid that's not enough. It's not going to get you far. Then again, there are types of external motivation, external pressure society puts on you. You should learn English or Italian or Spanish because that's what smart and educated people do, or that's what cool people do, etc. That also doesn't work. When you feel the external pressure and don't feel that motivation inside, you will just end up hating it. It doesn't work. Let me give you 2 examples. I've got a friend who's got this fixed idea of moving to a different, more civilized country. Unfortunately, he only knows Russian. So he feels this pressure to at least learn English, and he restarts this learning process every once in a while. Well, in 10 years, he has made no visible progress whatsoever. It's just not there. On the other hand, I've got a friend from England who's passionate about learning Mandarin Chinese. He spends 4 to 6 hours a day studying it religiously. He reviews flashcards, he does writing, he tries conversation, and he's nailing it. Not that I know how good he really is because I don't speak Mandarin. But what I can confirm is that he's able to freely communicate with his Taiwanese wife. And I think he's doing an incredible job. I am just seeing it in his eyes. He's also not the worst speaker of Russian because the motivation is there. So here we go. True passion versus no passion at all. One works, the other one doesn't. So you better ask yourself, what are you learning the language for? If there is no this passion inside, if there is no the interest in the language itself, it's not worth it, go do something else. Or if, say, you have no choice, but there is no interest, you have to create it. We'll talk about it in some other videos. But I'm going to move on to the 3rd point, which is there has to be a challenge. You should quit your comfort zone. I know this is getting a little trivial, a little too old, because everybody's talking about quitting your comfort zone these days in every corner. So it's getting a little annoying, but it's true. It works. Recently I've watched a video by some American rabbi who took an example of the sea crabs growing and changing their shells. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but the point was, the stress is the best opportunity to grow. Basically, you encounter a challenge, you get frustrated, maybe there's an expression, maybe there's an accent you don't understand. You get frustrated, but yeah, you go online, you consult dictionaries, you ask a friend, you figure out that expression, learn it, gratify yourself, and move on. That's how it works in a nutshell. And this is why a lot of schools and private teachers organize their own conversational clubs for that exact reason. Mind you, practicing with your teacher is not always the best idea, even if your teacher is the speaker of the target language. Because teachers tend to speak to us in a very condescending and patient manner. They speak slowly, clearly, they explain a lot of things, they know exactly what to expect from you, and they help you find that missing word. So you get your instant gratification and go home happy. However, when you actually arrive in a real language environment, you may freak out. Because everybody speaks so fast, your head is just spinning. Let's just imagine a situation. You're lost in the middle of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and you need to find your way home, or to some nightclub, whatever. You need to ask a local for direction. It just brings a smile to my face when I imagine the whole interaction. Let's just say, bueno, pero tomate la línea C, andás hasta el obelisco, a donde bajás y transfieres a la línea D, después bajás en Alto Palermo, salís del subte, cruzás la calle, después tomás el colectivo Parejo 25 y andás como 10 paradas, bajás y ya listo, ¿entendés? Hasta luego, boludo. And you're like, just nodding your head, being too embarrassed to admit that you didn't understand anything. They didn't teach you to do that in your school, did they? That's a real reality check. So don't make an ass out of yourself. Don't stay in the entirely artificial environment. And that wraps it up for the third point. Let's move on. Point number 4. The language you learn must be a part of your everyday life. It's just kind of a natural transition from the third point to the fourth point. So basically, it's the homework, stupid. The moment you get out of the classroom, if your learning process stops, the moment you get out of the classroom, that's a guaranteed failure. Like, I can't stress that enough. How big an importance, an important role it plays in the learning process. You need that environment. If there is no such environment, you have to create it. Literally surround yourself with the language. And by the homework, I don't just mean something your teacher gives you. The homework is literally anything you can and willing to do with the language. So, very simple things could be done. Take your phone, change your interface language to your target language. Read. Listen to podcasts. Just download. It's very easy. There's so many applications that allow you to listen to podcasts in your target language. Just press play, put your earbuds on, go home, go to work, go to the gym. Watch movies in your target language. Do you like watching sitcoms, so TV series like House of Cards, Game of Thrones? So take the episode, take the season you have already watched, you're familiar with, and watch it again, but this time in your target language. If you're too confused, turn on the subtitles in your native language, but don't go too easy on yourself. Remember that comfort zone. Stay out of it. I recommend doing it with a subtitles in your target language. And once upon a time, it helped me a lot. Actually, grinding, hitting that ceiling, getting from becoming an intermediate speaker and then an advanced speaker, big time. It expanded my vocabulary rapidly. So, with the videos, the movies you watch at home, you have a great opportunity to expand your vocabulary instantly. You stumble upon a word, the expression you don't understand. Pause it. Look it up. Consult a dictionary. Google it. Damn it. If also using a thesaurus also helps you boost the language. Like rather than consulting a bilingual dictionary that translates the word or expression to your language, use the dictionary that just explains things you don't understand in other words, the words you understand. It is much more efficient. Again, the last but not least, you need to practice the language. And by practice, I mean a lot of things, like practice your pronunciation when nobody hears you. Read things out loud. And practice the language with someone else. Without it, you'll be stuck at the beginner's level forever. This could be a native speaker, that would be great. But if there is no one around, that's okay. Although we live in the 21st century, there's always an access to unless you're learning some super rare language, there are always native speakers available to help you out in the online communities. Again, you just need to exercise your brain. It works just like internet. You have to send information and you have to receive information. Well, you receive a lot of information, but unless you send it back, it doesn't go anywhere. So, find the conversational club that practices your target language in your area and attend it religiously. If the language you're learning is too rare for your area, go online, find a community, find people to practice it with. This is of utmost importance. Again, if nothing is an excuse in the 21st century, the only excuse would be, I do not want to learn this language, I'm not excited. But at which point I would rest my case. And again, be honest with yourself. Like things like, I don't have time to do this. You do have time to this. Maybe you don't realize how much time you spend every day on your social networks. How much time you waste not doing anything. Like, do you commute to work a lot? Put your earbuds on, press on play, listen to your favorite podcast. Here we go. You're learning it. You're jogging, working out with your headphones on. Do the same thing. Instead of browsing Facebook or Instagram, whatever, read something. Find something interesting online. Like, you like cars, watch Top Gear in your target language. You like makeup, watch makeup videos. There's tons of video blogs dedicated to makeup. You like watching porn? That's a great opportunity to learn things people tell each other in bed in different languages. Amazing. That's also, if you're learning English and American English, that's a great way to get yourself used to an English measurement system, inches. This is giving a big excuse to understand where I'm going with this. You're not just masturbating, you're not a porn addict anymore, you're developing yourself. You're expanding your vocabulary. So like, hey Brandon, what you doing out there? The dinner is getting cold. Mom, I'm learning Brazilian Portuguese here. Oh, safadinha. You know where I'm going with this. And this pretty much wraps it up. Yeah, also there's so much material online ready to help you. All these amazing polyglots, almost all of them, maybe all of them, all the polyglots I know are willing to share their methods, their techniques with you absolutely for free. And you'd be a fool not to take advantage of it. And I'm not going all Shia LaBeouf on you, like, do it! Your motivation is your problem, not of my concern. But One thing I've learned, if you really want to do it, nothing is impossible. Thanks for listening. Till the next time.